A couple years ago I downloaded the Starbucks app and signed up for the membership to save my card and orders and such. After signing up, you get a coupon in your email for a free coffee of any make/size. At first, I didn't know you had to load it to the app after ordering. So when I went up to the counter and ordered my usual venti caramel frappuccino with an extra pump caramel and extra caramel drizzle, I proceeded to show the barista the code I had in the email, and he said, it has to be loaded onto the app. I honestly had no clue how to use it, but instead of going through the whole process on the app, he just let me have the free drink. I took this knowledge and used it on other Starbucks throughout my town for almost a year. Now, I'm not a total dirtbag because every time I got, I'd buy a square of lemon cake and leave a couple dollar tip.
I would think they'd catch on at some point.
Starbucks rotates barristers faster than this guy rotates his underwater. Good racket should continue.
I can vouch we honestly didn't care most of the time.
Especially if you tipped her were nice.
We honestly don't give one single fuck. We don't get in any type of trouble for just giving it to you as long as you rent a dick.
That 7,000 markup goes pretty far. They only need payment for
every 4th coffee to stay in business.
Yeah, if this actually works you should delete this, gonna be burnt out quickly.
Maybe every little bit of waste matters and we should care about all of it and reduce whatever we can.
Calculating luck, buying the treat and tipping evens it out.
I stopped when the email disappeared from my inbox, but buying a lemon cake helped not feeling like a complete criminal. Plus we throw so much shit away, maybe we should care
about that instead of plastic straws. I consulted the map 11 though, but that's counting inside targets and such. I also
used it out of town a few times.
We know how many Starbucks are there in your town.
Starbucks rotates barristers faster than this guy rotates his underwater. Yeah, where is Starbucks getting all of these lawyers who are willing to make coffee for minimum wage?
That wouldn't be very cash money of you.
Yes, I did use the same places most of the time, but I
might walk in one day and then go through drive-through the next. Or just buy the gift cards in Canada for $1.25 or whatever and
take them down to the US and use them as United States dollars. You could start
a little business.
Y'all are making me feel bad with the lemon cake, okay?
I think he said it wouldn't be very cash money of that guy.
Half the time we don't give a shit though.
So we went to the same place more than once. And still no one noticed it. We donate the unopened expired food to the local women's shelter.
IML caution you on that some retailers do not accept Canadian gift cards. I am
Canadian and have tried it in the States low.
I stopped a while back because the email mysteriously disappeared from my mail.
Probably a good thing because I have a history of pushing boundaries a little far.
That's pure genius. You could do thus with any gift card.
Worked 3 years as a barista, didn't give a shit 100% of the time.
Stealing the coffee from a billion-dollar company is fine, don't feel bad.
Barrister, not a lawyer entitled to practice as an advocate, particularly in the higher courts.
I can't find anything on Starbucks stealing money in any way. When were they accused of this?
Objection! I'm sorry, I'll do better. I swear tough times make for tough grime in the Andes.
As a former Starbucks barista, I commend you. People don't normally realize how
much we appreciate the tips we get. It helps a ton.
Honesty is the best policy, but also Starbucks has a 400 markup, so good for all.
As long as you tip them, I forgive you.
I think that's what I said. In our training we were told to do exactly this to make the
customer S-Day lol, unless they start to abuse it.
The bot lol. Could post this in.
Yo, if this actually works, you should delete it. This gonna get burnt out quickly.
My ex would come home with like 10 sandwiches every other night. It's crazy.
That is so not protocol. Now there is supposed to be ruined by default, plus you can just use tongues
To put it back on a piece of parchment paper
and put it in the oven.
I'm not having those moments, except one lady who took way
Too much advantage of it.
definitely the food. My mom asked one of the breakfast sandwiches to be warmed up. Barista with the drive-thru pleasantly said, of course.
And then just tossed it and grabbed a fresh one.
So can I just go up to a Starbucks and say that I am starving and need something to drink, but I have no money? And they just give me one.
The one where the customer wanted their coffee and he made it without giving a shit, probably.
You can also pay in Canadian dollars, and use the app, and the US gives you about a 25% discount in case the comment is deleted. The S a backup.
It's really not that bad.
And it's only go if it's but still all alone.
How is it working there? My wife just got hired on.
I'll just buy the gift cards and load them onto the app. Thanks friend, I'll remember for next time.
I had a boss like this when working at a bar paying for college out of my tips, thank you.
There are 28 in my city if you count the ones in Target. Seriously, I am entirely sure the stores didn't even notice a cup of
coffee. Their margins are so high.
Use it whenever you want. Well, at least you shared this technique with the rest of Reddit.
Gold, if I had gold, I would give it to you. Law is the new liberal arts.
That's a general rule, however Starbucks is an exception.
Shut the fuck up. I feel like it's way easier to get burnt out from Burger King than it is Starbucks. Lol, I haven't had Burger King in
over 7 years, so one burger would probably burn me out. Lol.
Seriously, it's not coming out of our paychecks. It's nice you would tip.
This was around 3-4 years ago, so no promises. It still works. Sorry, BB3.
There are subs I didn't file for.
I am a barista now, I know not to give in.
That is so cool.
I've given free food away to people who ask politely, just not to people who act rude to me.
Oh well man, they toss like easy a gallon a day.
Baristas underwater have an upvote.
Starbucks.Do.
Must have been a shitty store. I loved the time I spent at mine. Nowhere near what you described.
I just started using the app this week and wasn't given no email for a free drink. WTF.
They're pretty much the same thing in Sweden. A coffee shop had an app that gave you a free coffee when you installed it. Reinstall for profit.
Fuck those pigs.
It's at their discretion, but they really very much allowed to. Don't you have to though, so if you read a dick you're probably not getting it.
Or what the order was.
Not any good stories.
Doesn't he work anymore? Was down in Hawaii a few weeks ago, and it charged me a fixed
conversion rate. Drink ended up costing the same.
We was someone going through the same thing. Help. Lol, albeit my weight gain was caused by medication.
But shit still sucks.
As a Starbucks employee, I was really mad up until the end. As long as you give a tip, it what you do. Lol.
Wow, you gotta be a fat fuck by now though, that S for sure.
I work at one in a university the beginning of the semester.
Is hell the holidays are hell?
I feel like this is a pretty common attitude most CSRs in whatever field are pretty willing to do what they can for you as long as you're reasonable and treat them like a fellow human being.
He could be a barrister by day and a barista at night.
The desk in my underwear is rotating right now.
I was so excited to find a way for taking advantage of Whole Foods.
Parking validation downtown, the bastards realized the
loophole after the second or third month and fixed it.
I use a sword.
Images are hated on Reddit more often than not. Young get
downvoted regardless of the contents.
Oh man, I laughed too hard at this. It's like winning a mini lotto roll.
Steal from the rich who did God's work.
Rob Starbucks blind, those bastards were charging 50 cents for a cup of water too. First responders at ground zero if one of those places were on fire, at roast
Marshmallows before I put it out.
Charging 50 cents for a cup of water to first responders at ground zero, check or
Starbucks 911 water charge or check, or Starbucks 911 water charge or.
If you were in the coffee stealing business, you sure set your standards low.
Coming from a Starbucks Batista, we don't really care, as long as you're nice continue to get.
Your free coffee mate, just use basic manners.
Don't worry, I was always super nice, and if they were unsure about using the coupon,
I always offered to pay on the spot.
That lemon cake is the real reason to go anyway.
On free for one day at Subway, I went to 5 different Subways 3 times.
Each and had dinner for a fortnight. This is more like our proliferaps.
Alice the diabetes.
Objection!
I've lost a lot of weight since then, and switched to almost black coffee. Fuck Starbucks.
Please steal from Starbucks. I promise you aren't hurting anybody by
Doing so, but it's very nice to tip your workers.
Stealing from corporations is morally sound. I worked at Starbucks. It was policy to give out free drinks of. Somebody had even an inkling of a coupon or complained it was easier to do so even if the person was gaming the system. I think the 15 million other people paying $12 for coffee. Got you covered. Please continue now.
I totally support laws against texting and driving, but a drive-through when you just pull out your phone to pay is just a money grab. IMO plus it's technically on private property anyways.
My only question is, how overweight are you of eating meals or snacks that contain over 100 grams of sugar? Is in any way normal? If your app just starts freezing, you basically get your drink for free too, when you notice it freezing up. Go get a drink. I am one of the manager in Starbucks. Thank you for tipping this weekend now. Avoid this kind of scenario. Just kidding.
Coffee and food in the garbage is way better compared to plastic straws there is now.
microplastics in our entire water system. Shit's fucked.
I don't understand the meaning of the phrase, though. Can you explain it please? I was told once that they have to give you the drink anyway if
You forgot your money.
Going through all that schooling to become a barrister just to become a Starbucks barista seems like a hell of a waste. Not necessarily, depends on the place and who you are as a person, but entry-level food service retail,
etc. in general just tends to have really high turnover.
If he went to the same one repeatedly, they would. If he
went to a few different ones, who's going to notice?
People working for dirt wages don't give a shit usually if You are nice to them.
They probably know, but they're not really paid enough to care. I will keep that in mind, thank you.
Well, not sure if it works with any gift card, but for sure it works with Starbucks.
This does not work when the charge goes through its converted source have.
Had Canadian-backed account in the US for years. Go to have no shame. Well, I would prefer a flintlock pistol, but that's just me.
Used to live in downtown Denver. There was one almost every other block. There was like 15 in a 2 square mile area.
Agreed, lol.
Oh, this is just a bunch of vague bullshit, if you don't like the price.
Don't buy their shit, it's not stealing just cause it's overpriced.
My man will be part of an elite and highly trained unit U&I black belt for life.
Or are all unethical fabricatives.
Fucking talk to text man.
Objection!
For fucking real, I would totally buy a whole lemon cake from them. I switched to black a few years ago. Also, I've definitely pounded some of those coffee milkshakes in my day too. Nice job with the weight loss.
Very nice, great to hear. Sorry if that question came off as harsh.
Rather good job, they charge absurd prices.
They got even with you by giving you diabetes.
I did the same thing, only with Burger King.
I see no problems with this.
The lemon cake is delicious, but it gives me diarrhea.
Rip her butthole.
Why do the things I love most hate me? They just signed a $1 billion deal with Nestle, so fuck 'em.